And hello again, everyone, and welcome to Morning Skate Report here for the Golden Knights on all of our social media channels, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook. Dave Gosher, Shea Theodore. These seats are terrific.
Fantastic.
This is our first time at this set because our other set's tied up because we have the TV show later today for the Golden Knights game. This is great. I feel like I'm on the Tonight Show.
Oh, I got to figure out how to hold the mic. You can't hold it like this.
You could. Feel free. I love Johnny Carson. I miss him. This is
I feel like I'm in an interview here.
Ed McMahon closing in here.
What's
soon?
the one, the movie one, behind the artist or something?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, well, this is a lovely setup here at City National Arena in our studios downtown Summerlin. Great to have you with us. And for the Golden Knights, Shane, a lot of good to talk about. Coming off a nice win in Game 1 against the Chicago Blackhawks, 4-1 on Tuesday. So as we sit here now Thursday morning getting set for Game 2, mid-afternoon start 2:30 Pacific time. But the Golden Knights, real good in the round robin for the most part. Able to win all 3 games to get themselves the top seed in the West. And then able to kind of got better as that game went along against Chicago in Game 1 to pick up the win.
Yeah, it's interesting. A lot of good to talk about, yet there's a lot better they can be in areas of the game. Pete DeBoer certainly has talked about that, feels that, it was not until the third period they really got to their game, and I think that's something they want to build off. It was a talk about going in through exhibition, round robin, and even getting set to play here in the first round, that they would continue to improve, continue to get their game to the highest level possible. I still don't think they have yet, and that's exciting because they're still winning.
Yeah.
When you're winning and there's still more to give. I feel that's where the Golden Knights are at now, and I think they recognize that. They've been able to have success. Depth has certainly been the strength throughout this because it's been different people stepping up at different times.
Well, you'll even look at Game 1. We'll take a peek at some of the highlights here from Riley Smith, who, a player coming off 27 goals, a career high for him. And going into that Game 1 the other night, Shane, we talked a lot on TV about the return of Max Pacioretty, rightfully so, getting back their top scorer from injury, but his line a little bit slow. The line of Smith, Marchessault, and Stastny was real good.
It was the line that stepped up. Riley Smith's first goal just kind of overpowered Crawford. Maybe one Crawford would like back, but a good shot down the right wing by Riley Smith. He's one of those players that gives you the consistent effort each and every night. He's got offensive tendencies, so reliable defensively, all areas of the game, plays in every situation, and scored an absolute highlight reel goal on the backhand, his second of the night, off a terrific feed from Jonathan Marchessault, who I thought played a terrific game. That line was really good for the Golden Knights. You could also throw the fourth line, Carrier, Reeves, Waugh, excellent in this game, and that's where I just mentioned the depth so important that these different lines can step up. Riley Smith leading the way for the Golden Knights along with Stastny and Marchessault.
Smith reminds me of one of those players, Shane, that, and I'm sure you played with guys like this, that every important situation in a game, as a coach, you want him on the ice. Need a goal, protecting a 1-goal lead, power play, penalty kill. Interesting, Jonathan Marchessault, who's been really attached at the hip with Smith here for 3 years, was asked about Riley Smith after the Game 1 win.
100%. He doesn't get enough credit in our team, and he's been, for 3 years, he's been one of our best players. And it was actually fun that this year he got rewarded more offensively, and obviously tonight, but he's been unbelievable for us, and he's a big part why we have a lot of success offensively, because he normally backs up all my mistakes, so I like playing with him.
And he is a bit unheralded, right? He's under the radar, but if you see him like we do on a game-to-game basis, you really do appreciate just how much he brings to this team.
Well, that was a very honest, accurate assessment by, someone who knows Riley Smith extremely well. As you mentioned, they've attached, played with him so long. So when Jonathan Marchessault says those things, so much truth to it. The thing about Riley Smith's game is he doesn't cheat for offense. And Marchessault talks about playing with him. This was just a terrific pass. Marchessault slows up the play, recognizes Smith's speed, has a step on Kane. All he's got to do is get that pass across. Sounds easy, but this is just a great saucer pass just over the stick. King got a piece of it, but he kind of led Smith, allowed him to skate into it. Just a real heads-up play by Jonathan Marchessault. And when he talks about playing with Riley Smith, it's these type of things. Smith's going to give you that effort. He's going to play the same way. The offense comes because of his skill. but his smarts. We always talk about Mark Stone being a smart player. Riley Smith's really intelligent. On the penalty kill, him and William Karlsson, when they pair up, I think they're so dangerous. I think they're one of the most dangerous pairs offensively in a shorthanded situation in the NHL. They read off one another. Riley Smith anticipates plays. I think whoever he plays with, he reads off. And that's what allows him to play with different players and still be successful. And that's exactly what you need. He had a terrific game. He was the guy, and hopefully we can see all four lines, all 6D really stepping it up here tonight against the Blackhawks.
Send us your questions, by the way.
Yes.
Feel free, any mode you'd like, and we will get to some as we move along here on our morning skate report from City National Arena. We'll see what the Golden Knights lineup looks like for Game 2. They did get Max Pacioretty back for Game 1 the other night, and it was funny to hear his comments, Shane. He said he felt like he hadn't played a game in 5 months, which I asked you yesterday on our Nighttime at Noon radio show, what that's like for a player in normal times. If your team misses the playoffs, you're done in April, training camps in September, that's 5 months. That's one thing, but 5 months from worldwide pandemic, everything stops in the middle of March, to jumping into the heat of the playoffs is altogether different.
Oh, it's not an easy task. You look at the situation, you haven't played, and yeah, you've skated, you've maybe played in a couple scrimmages, but that doesn't simulate NHL game action in a regular season situation. This is playoffs, so, it's elevated. The magnitude of the game is so much more important, and it's hard to step in with that emotion, with that pass. And the biggest thing is timing. Just in all situations, timing with the puck, making a play, passing, timing without the puck, where to be, positioning, all those things. And I thought Pacioretty, he looked good in the Game 1 for missing that much time and coming in, and he just continued to improve, gets more and more comfortable as he goes along here playing in these games.
Well, we mentioned Riley Smith, 2 goals and an assist in Game 1. Jonathan Marchessault, a couple of real nice setups on the goals by Riley Smith. Shea Theodore continues to produce on the back end for the Golden Knights. Had 2 goals against St. Louis in the round robin, and then the first goal of this series on Tuesday.
Well, and the whole play, this is what makes him so special. First of all, his feet, his mobility. You can see how he moves his feet, his head up the whole way, just kind of rotates into an angle, recognizes he has more ice, takes that ice, steps in, gets a closer shot and perfect position as he beats it to the glove side on Corey Crawford. It looks simple enough. Nice play by Riley Smith, a little interchange up top, but it's the mobility, the movement by Shea Theodore with his head up the whole time to move in, take the ice that's given to him. He could have shot that from a different position, which most defensemen would, but the offensive tendencies he has, the recognition to move into that area, take ice given to him, get closer, better angle, have the shot lane, and then accuracy with the shot just really shows, the special talent he has, and we're seeing it more and more as he's gaining confidence. 3 goals already in playoffs.
Yeah, he's been fantastic for the Golden Knights as they get ready for game number 2. We're going to take a look at kind of the series and where we are to this point. Obviously, the Golden Knights winning game 1 and did it in pretty business-like fashion, knocking off the Hawks 4-1. So here's the rest of the lineup. As far as we know so far, Game 2 coming up here just in a matter of hours, 2:30 Pacific time start. Game 3, 5 o'clock on Saturday, and then something you don't see often in the postseason, but obviously in the world we're in 2020, back-to-back games, right? They'll be right back at it. 3:30 start on Sunday for game number 4, and then after that we'll see if it goes beyond 4 games to be determined, but it would be Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday in terms of the start times next week for the Golden Knights.
Well, hopefully Saturday's game isn't similar to what happened in Tampa and Columbus, because then I think they have the flexibility to move. They could play right till that game 4 if you play 5 overtimes, but and then that could be a situation in which the NHL has the flexibility to move times around and change things. But no travel makes it a little easier on these players. Right back to the hotel. It's across a walkway. Eat, get some rest. Same thing the next day.
Quick question to work in. Charles on Facebook.
Thanks, Charles.
Wants to know, what is the biggest challenge right now facing the Golden Knights?
For the Golden Knights, I think it's just to elevate their game into a complete 60. We've seen pieces of their game where they've been dominant. I think they can dominate for 60 minutes. I think the start maybe is one area that still they haven't gotten to their game early enough in the first period. And I think Pete DeBoer talked about it before the series. He said we need to make a statement early. And then he came out and he felt Chicago kind of led the first 10 minutes. So tonight, I think one thing is make that statement early. Come out, take control of this game, and don't give Chicago any sniff of hope.
Well, the Golden Knights getting set for Game 2 here this afternoon. Make sure you can eat like a Golden Knight as you watch the Golden Knights play, of course, throughout the Stanley Cup playoffs. A limited number of to-go packs are available over at Mackenzie River for pre-order for each playoff game. $50, and it gets you a large pizza, 2 salads, lodge poles, and 4 7.5 Brewing Company beers. Select players' favorite pizzas also available at 15% off on game days. So give them a call at 702. The Nevada
oh my
area
goodness,
code
how
is
long have you lived
well,
here?
I'm reading it off this. I should just read it off the screen. 702-916-2999. 702-916-2999. Great specials over at Mackenzie River. It's interesting. We get all sorts of moving pieces to this show, Shane. We're at T-Mobile.
Yeah.
Who's our host? Millard? The Mallard fella and Mike McKenna. They are at Mackenzie River. Oh, no, they're in the studio, and Stormy and Gary are at Mackenzie River. I can't keep track.
No,
there's a lot going on.
The struggle is real.
Who are they playing? Chicago? No, it's but yeah, we'll be back. Shane and I'll be back at T-Mobile Arena, which was a very
interesting.
Very
we miss all the fans. I'll tell you that.
To be in an empty building, calling a game off a big screen that's being played in Edmonton with no ice actually in front of you was a whole different deal, to say the least. But anyway, that'll be the home for Shane and I as we move forward, including today. Golden Knights trying to go up 2-0. Pete DeBoer was asked about his team and areas he looks for improvement as they head into the second game of the series.
Yeah, there's areas we need to improve on. I didn't like us through the neutral zone. I thought, we didn't have good support. We didn't play fast enough. We turned some pucks over. So, that's something we can clean up. I thought as the game went on, it got better. So, if we're going to build on something and carry over something from last game, it's going to be our third period. I thought we started to play the way we're capable of playing in the third and got rewarded for that. So that's what we want to build on.
Yeah, better as they went on, Shane, but the neutral zone and what Pete DeBoer was talking about there, and areas he'd like to see and you'd like to see them improve upon as they head into game 2.
Well, I think it was one of the things on our broadcast. They said after 40 minutes, the area, I forget, is it the drive to the finish, was puck decisions. Too many turnovers for the Golden Knights in the first 40. But the neutral zone really lends itself to you both defensively and offensively. In both those areas is where it's really crucial, is to shut down the speed of Chicago when they're trying to come through, to create those turnovers, to have good gaps. You got to have back pressure from the forwards, allow your D to step up, take away the neutral zone space so they can't get into your own zone. And then offensively, I think they need to be much better at garnishing speed, being able to come through. Vegas is a good rush team when they can come through the neutral zone with speed. And that's really about puck decisions, good breakouts, clean plays, and it's play away from the puck. This isn't just with the puck. I think there's support in the neutral zone from an offensive standpoint, making sure you get in a position where you're open. Give the player with the puck an option so you can get the puck with speed, so you can elevate between those two blue lines and attack with speed. That's the areas I think really in the neutral zone, which is such an important part. Everybody looks at the two zones where the goals are scored, but the neutral zone is really where it all starts on both sides of the puck.
Jason on Facebook with a question, Shane, wants to know what area do we think the Blackhawks pose the biggest threat? It seems like the Golden Knights have much more speed and cohesiveness throughout all of their lines.
They still have some pretty world-class talent up front, and I think their power play, it's about as good as 5 guys as you can put on the ice with Kane, Taves, Keith, those type of players. Patrick Kane, can control a whole power play. He's got incredible ability to, I mentioned it earlier, he can speed, slow down the game, he can shoot, he can look off a play, he can feather a pass between 2 sticks, skates, whatever. So you want to play 5-on-5 because that's where the Golden Knights were really dominant. They only gave up 9 shots to Chicago in a 5-on-5 situation in that first game. So I think discipline is going to be important, and then take away speed. Chicago's got some young players. They like to attack, like to play with speed, and for Chicago, you got to be aware of that. Chicago did a good job in that first 40. You got to give them credit. As much as the Golden Knights couldn't get to the game, they didn't have much for grade A opportunities. So I think the Golden Knights can try and open that up a little bit more.
An area the Golden Knights have seemed to thrive, Shane, in what now three of the 4 games they've played is quick strikes, right? In the ability to build momentum. Look, every team's in the same boat, no fans. So how do you try to generate your own excitement and your own momentum? Pete DeBoer talked about this team as one way to do it is to be vocal on the bench. He thinks they have a pretty vocal team as it is on the bench. Another way to do it is to build one goal on top of another. And they've been able to do that, basically save for the Colorado game. They did it quick goals against Dallas, quick goals against St. Louis, and then Riley Smith with a couple of quick goals the other night in Game 1.
I think on both sides, you're right. You can vocal. It's great to get guys going, keep it, but there's no better motivation or momentum shift if you score a goal. And you want to try and thrive on that as long as you can. And I think the Golden Knights have done a good job where they can score. They feed off that. They attack again. As you mentioned, quick goals. On the flip side of it, the other team score, that's where you have to have that ability. That's where I think being on the bench is even more important. Okay, now let's try and take it back. That next shift, so important after a goal's been scored on you to go out. And you don't have to score again right away, but even to try and get play back in your favor. And, no crowd. This is the only way to create momentum, and the best way is to score a goal and try and thrive on that, continue that momentum, try and take advantage of it.
Lots of questions about the goaltending. Of course, Robin Lehner got the start and the win in Game 1. We'll take a look at some of his work. Not tested a ton, but good when called upon. Only faced 20 shots, which is the lowest he's faced all season, be it regular season with the Hawks, regular season with the VGK, or obviously throughout the round robin and the playoffs. Save for the left skate issue, which fell apart on him the other night, he was pretty solid.
Well, we believe the new skates will be on, as these ones were old and had some trouble. He fought hard. That is not easy to try and stand up without steel on the bottom of your skate. But Robin Lehner, how would I describe his game? Solid. The thing about his game is I think he makes saves look easier because he doesn't move a lot. He takes up so much of the net. He's a big body. Made some big saves, though, at key times when it was a 2-1 game. Timely saves, so important. And I felt he did that. But the most important stat is ever since he's put on a jersey, he's won.
Yep, perfect, right? 6-0.
The Golden Knights jersey, not a jersey. Let's. I better
clarify
that.
He's lost games in his career.
Yeah, he's lost games.
He hasn't gone undefeated.
All right.
The
Golden Knights jersey, he is 6-0.
Michael asked a question, and we invite you to send in as many as we can get to here before we wrap things up. Michael wants to know any situation in this series in which we see Malcolm Subban make an appearance for Chicago.
Well, if Corey Crawford keeps letting in goals like that first Riley Smith goal, it's possible.
Yeah, he was couple, and I know
Theodore one
the
might
Theodore
have been.
one, you give Theodore credit for a good shot.
I give him credit, and there might have been a little bit of a quick flash screen. There was some Stastny in front. It just looked like Crawford didn't pick it up. I also think the way Shea Theodore moves his body, he's kind of moving to the right, long stick. I don't know if Crawford got a good read off it. Yes, you'd like the goalie to stop that, but I think the only way we see Subban is if Crawford struggles.
Some check-ins, Shane, from VGK land, VGK Worldwide. Mike from Spanish Fort, Alabama. How are you, Michael?
Alabama.
Julie in Idaho, and the Golden Knights staff, some of which are in the bubble. Katie in Edmonton.
Katie's watching.
Katie doing a terrific job. Anders in Sweden. It wouldn't be Anders. It would be Anders because he's in Sweden. That's how they say it over there. Hello to you as well. So a lot of people chiming in. Colin's got an offbeat question, Shane.
Offbeat. Let's go.
Which I like. Pineapple on pizza is good. Some people on Facebook disagree. I disagree. Yeah, no.
I saw the pizzas up there earlier, the player pizzas, the stone pizza. I think it was all meat, steak, pepperoni, bacon.
Now you're talking.
That's where I'm at.
If you're going to do it.
I don't want fruit on my pizza.
No. Do you do chicken?
I can do a chicken.
Yeah, I can do
barbecue
chicken on there. I'm getting hungry as we speak. By the way, Golden Knights and AT&T Sportsnet, of course, we'll have the game for you in AT&T this afternoon, 2 o'clock pregame, 2:30 opening faceoff, teaming up for the second annual charity night. So we've got 1,000 bags that would you want to just bring it in? Yeah, let me take it from here. One of these babies right here, filled with a lot of good stuff. Golden Knights memorabilia on sale right now. Is that true? It's on sale now. So there you go. Fans can text Knights to 76278 or visit knights.givesmart.com to get yours. So there you go. On sale now, ranging from $300 to $500. But charity night, Golden Knights, and the Hawks here in game number 2. So there you go. I don't know. I might just take this.
I don't know why somebody gave that to Dave. It's gone now.
Take a look at it. It's going to be all over. A couple of other questions, Shane. Can you explain how home ice advantage is a benefit in this situation in which obviously there's no real home ice, but you do have a home team for each game?
Well, one that probably doesn't really matter is they get the nicest dressing room. They get the Oilers dressing room when they are the home team. But the biggest advantage is for the coaches. They get last change. So for matchups, for getting the right line or mismatch on a situation, it allows Pete DeBoer the advantage of having last change.
Time for some predictions. David wants to know on Facebook, first goal, final score. You want to go first? Or I can go first.
Go, you go.
I'll go first. I like Chandler Stevenson with the first goal of the game, and I like a nice, efficient 3-1 Golden Knights win. Going to be 3-0 most of the game. The Hawks will get one to make it a little bit more interesting.
I'm going to go Mark Stone, 5-2.
There you go.
Vegas.
Like yeah. Good. I like that. Rob says Indiana loves the Golden Knights.
Oh.
There you go. There you go. We love Indiana. Will from Manchester in the UK. VGK Worldwide. Shane, give us your thoughts on the impact of Carrier and Reeves and Nick Waugh and that line and the difference they're able to make since they've been together. And it hasn't been, it's been here and there they've been together.
And I think it's effective whether you have Waugh or Nosek there. The thing about that line that I like is they understand their role. They understand how they need to play. They're not going to go out there and try and backhand dish, no-look passes, feather passes through. They go in and they grind, and they're physical. They wear down. And in a 7-game series, that wears down the opposition's defense. They start to go back for the puck, and it'll all be happening. I think they combined for 14 hits in game 1. So game 2, if I'm a defenseman going back against that line, I'm like, you're looking over your shoulder, and there's an internal debate in your mind. How badly do I want to go back for that puck? Because I know I'm taking a hit. So that's the impact that line has. And I think as the series goes along, it becomes even more and more crucial on how they can wear down teams with their physicality, get in, grind, cycle down low, and then having the ability to score just adds to when they can chip in offense. A huge goal by Will Carey in that game. It was off a great play. And that play, it's tough to show. I can't pick the highlights. We only get the ones off their feed. But It started with a really good breakout in their own zone, a play by Carrier, support by Nick Waugh that came up the ice through the neutral zone, as we were mentioning earlier. So important. It started. They were able to generate that speed, and a great play by Nick Waugh. Just patience in zone, finds Reeves, get the puck to the net. Carrier wins a one-on-one battle. And that's, to me, the type of goals you'll see from that fourth line, which makes them so effective.
Will Carrier, 2 goals in his playoff career. 2 game winners. Makes them count.
Not bad. First one was nice in Dallas, a little between the legs.
Back to the net, backhand between the legs.
Both have been reviewed.
Yeah. A delayed, well, I think he was pretty confident they would count, but a little bit of a delayed celebration. Marie says, Shane, the suit you wore the other night was over the top. I thought it was. I liked it.
It was over the top.
I liked it. I thought it was. Was that the?
That's the one I wore for home opener.
Yeah, I thought so. That's a fancy costume. A lot of people taking Mark Stone for the first goal of the game. Discuss his impact, which I think we've. Yeah. He's all been around fantastic all year for the Golden Knights, and I wonder, Shane. Now you had Max Pacioretty come back for that first game. We'll kind of see what their lineup looks like as they move into game 2 today, but. Mark Stone, at least through the round robin, fantastic, as advertised, led the team in points. So, hoping for more of the same.
Yeah, there's no panic if he doesn't score in one game, because you look at his career with the Golden Knights in playoffs. Is it 11 games now, 8 goals?
Yes, correct.
17 points.
Yeah, he's been dynamite. All right, so we're just about ready to kind of say goodbye to you here. AT&T Sportsnet, 2 o'clock pregame with Darren and Mike, and then 2:30 face-off with us two. And then on the radio, you can also listen, of course, Golden Knights Radio Network, Fox Sports Radio, Las Vegas, 98.9 FM, the flagship right here in Vegas. These babies on sale now. All sorts of Golden Knights goodies. I'm going to take this one home, but all the other ones are still available. But anyway, so to be sure to get your bag here on charity night. So thanks so much for joining us. Morning Skate Report here from our studios in downtown Summerlin. We'll talk to you on the TV sets. For now, go Knights go, and have a great day.